So, as promised, what are firms looking for? I did this in a this and not this, so we'll go through these. What they're looking for is a real understanding of the organization and its mission. They think they're the center of the world, so you should definitely know a lot about any organization that you're applying to. What they don't want to see is a false sense of the industry's glamour. So, it is definitely super fun over here in the arts, but it's not parties all day long every day. And particularly at nonprofits, you're working with constrained resources. So, your printers aren't going to be quite as new as at a consulting job. Your desk isn't going to be quite as big. And they want to see that you have a realistic understanding of what the day to day is like. So, the best ways that you can demonstrate that would be wonderful, because they just don't want you to they really don't want to hire you and then have you be miserable because it turns out that it's not glamorous all day every day. And definitely not, I thought this would be easier than my investment banking job. um, I think you can certainly expect better hours than your investment banking job, but they're going to want to see a little bit more passion and a little bit more specific dedicated interest in the mission than a line like that. And it may sound obvious, but I have heard this before when interviewing candidates. So I figured I would lay that out there as a bad idea. What else are firms looking for? They're looking for experience in a particular function. So that could be any kind of experience here, whether we're talking about coursework or a previous job or a previous internship. But they're essentially looking for you to have a bit of a focus, whether that's marketing, fundraising, operations, you know, exhibition design, some kind of specific function. What art organizations are generally not looking for is someone who needs training from scratch. I think there's pretty good but not great job training in the arts. I'm comparing it to my job in consulting, where job training is notoriously spectacular. So I have quite high standards for on-the-job training, but in general, in my experience, arts organizations are looking for someone with a little bit of functional knowledge coming in. They're looking for poise, maturity, well-spokenness. That's not quite a word, but you know what I mean. And good writing skills. And the reason for that is they need someone who can communicate with the artistic staff, and in other words, with the artists. And they need someone who can be left alone with a donor if needed. So, maybe just chit-chat, small talk in the lobby or something like that, but you're working with a really diverse range of constituents in the arts, and they need someone who can portray themselves as mature and could have some social grace with many, many different types of people who come through the door in the arts. Particularly for commercial organizations like film, all the rumors are true. They ask people to start really at an entry level. Years spent in other careers are not given a whole lot of credit. So, this is just what I'm referring to here is like the classic movie internship where you start answering the phones. They don't want to see unrealistic expectations about starting pay and initial responsibility. They really ask you to work your way up by climbing the ladder. Again, this is especially commercial organizations, and I'm not trying to say that the arts aren't a meritocracy. I think they absolutely are. I think talented people do very well in the arts, but those initial expectations probably need to be a little bit low. And then last but not least, they're looking for a demonstrated interest in the arts. So, of course, as I keep saying, that means specific concrete experiences that you've gained in the arts with internship or other kinds of experiences, not just the personal interest line at the bottom, some kind of genuine association with an arts organization. What they're not looking for is some kind of virtuoso performance career. It's not to say that would hurt you. If you got interested in the arts because you're a performer or you're an artist and now you want to switch to the business world, that is, of course, always has been encouraged. What I'm trying to say here is don't feel like you need to have a specific talent as an artist in order to come over to the arts management side. That's absolutely not necessary at all. It's much more that you're interested in the field and the mission. So I just wanted to really reassure people of that if that was a misconception.